let's pick up where we left off, because I know that you then dipped your foot back into. Did your business stop and then you restarted again, or did it?
Yeah. So at this point, so now we're in 2019. I'm back in New York. Well, I'm still at LeafLink. Because I moved all around the country. So I moved back to New York right before the pandemic, with the goal of just, wanting to participate. I saw that things were starting to move along. Started working at Backbone on the side. I also was putting a team together because I wanted to pursue a manufacturing license. So that was kind of being developed. But like I said before, after the bill passed, you kind of just saw what was taking place with the illicit shops. And I've lived the pain, and, I told my team, I said, I don't think this market I'm just not interested in that level of pain. It was unfortunate. So, to be honest, then Backbone went under, and I was exhausted. To your point earlier with one of your friends or someone you spoke to about, they just couldn't do it anymore. That's where I was. I'd spent almost a decade. I had taken some serious financial hits. It's a great experience. I learned so much. And I didn't know where to go from there, right? I had seen every market take the typical cycle, right? I just didn't know where the US is going to go. I went to Cannabis out in Spain. I was like, Europe, show me something.
Cannabis. I love that name.
Yeah.
I love that name.
An amazing conference. I met some awesome people, had a great time. But they're struggling as well. What?
I was just telling Todd we got to go to that Cannabis.
Yeah.
How are the buds out there?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and also there was different cannabinoids that I started to hear about out there, and then I came back here and I started hearing more about them, like CBC. So it was interesting. Like everyone, and I think for me, I love cannabis. I love the science. I geek out. I've worked with a ton of people. I mean, that's how I know the friend that introduced us, right? Like,
right.
I know a ton of people in production that have been either, messing around with concentrates in garages, or, they've been doing this for a long time, and the science behind it is incredible to me. Yeah. When I started to really understand the beauty behind strains, and being able to, Harlequin was the first time I had a strain where I was like, oh my God, this was life-changing, and I love it and I believe in it. It's just the business aspect with the regulations that just sucks, right? It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to make money. Survive.
It's just it's completely overregulated. It's there's a lot of things, and again, these are things that happen in an infancy of an industry. These are growing pains that we're going to go through, and it's going to chew through a lot of people before we get to the promised land.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta have perseverance. Yeah. The first time I went to Colorado 10 years ago,
talking to the mic.
Colorado's big, and everything's going on. We go to the stores, right? We get our buds, but then the tax they hit on us, right? The bud was already high price, then the tax. Mm-hmm. So all of a sudden it took some of the fun out of it, right? And then that's what caused the competition. The black market is still there. You can get it for half the price from your friend around the corner instead of going to the dispensaries. But after a while, the prices go down and dispensary prices get competitive.
After a certain period of time, you see that, but it doesn't eliminate the black market, even in those well-priced markets. Like,
right, it doesn't eliminate. It's still going to be that competition there,
like Michigan. So anyway, so you had a decision to make that you made with your team. Tell us, so what happened there? I know it's a big one.
Well, I decided to step away, right? I said, you know what? I'm not doing this. Like, it's just going to be so painful. And, I think Backbone had gone under too. So I was left in a situation where I was like, all right, what now? Right. And I think this is now 2022. It was I don't know if you remember, but the beginning of 2022, we saw a serious downturn in the industry. And it was tough. It was tough to find, tough finding a job. So I started up my consulting again, and, I was getting a couple clients, but it was challenging, right?
Yeah,
it's like, I think at this time, you also know what's under the hood of so many companies. And it's just,
it was exhausting, right?
Exhausting.
I could tell, I can just tell it was an exhausting process, because at every turn you're facing, you just walked all the way around one mountain, and as soon as you get there, there's another one right in front of you. And so, it's not for the lighthearted. None of this is for the lighthearted, any of this. So we get that.
Yeah. So literally, I was like, I'm out. I don't know where to go. I don't know. I think I'm done. And at that moment, which always happens with people when you are just about to throw in everything, the universe provides. I don't know any other way to say it, right? So I met someone who reinstilled faith in humanity for me.
That's awesome.
It was an amazing opportunity.
I like how you attributed that to the universe and not to manifestation or anything. It's just
but it could have been a little bit of both, right? So
right.
But it was, I don't know. I guess it's like just one of those periods where you're just like, I don't know. You don't have anything else to give, and the universe is like, all right, fine, here.
Here's
but it was
phone.
One of those. Yeah, right. And it was weird, right? Like the woman that I'm now working with, her daughter has the first name of me. We have a lot of different things in common. Our last names are damn near the same. We both have a metal plate in our left arm, like weird stuff like that. And she's a person of strong moral character and values, and she's tough. She's one of the toughest women I've ever met. And she wanted to build a company, and she, entrusted me. She has a lot of faith in me, and that's, what we're doing. She did want to pursue New York, right? So, we did, we were capitalized enough to pursue that. So, we did, but it just really, it still wasn't working. It's like we were sitting in the application queue for so long. I'm like, this just.
And you were in New York.
Know what
you were back in New York at this point, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I pulled the application because I'm like, what are we fighting for? You're watching the market open. It's just a disaster. We're trying to work with people in the market, essentially to launch a brand. It was wild, and it was chaotic, and it just, again, it's time to pivot again. So then we were looking at other markets that we could potentially pursue. Maryland was going through another licensing round, and I really like Maryland. I think Maryland's a very, stable market considering. But of course, in that round of licensing, it was very difficult to partner with a group because of the way they wrote the regulations. So,